क्विज़ेस गेम ऑफ फैक्ट्स। आज हम हिंदी क्विज के साथ शुरुआत करेंगे। सबसे पहले हिंदी क्विज होगा और फिर इंग्लिश क्विज होगा। मेरा नाम मीनल है और मैं आपके लिए आज का हिंदी क्विज होस्ट करूंगी। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल विश यू ऑल अ वेरी हैप्पी होली। आई होप कि आपने होली बहुत अच्छे से एंजॉय करी होगी, बहुत सेफली खेली होगी और ये रंगों का जो त्यौहार है आपके लिए बहुत सारी खुशियाँ लेकर आया है एंड यू एंजॉयड अ लॉट। और हर हफ्ते की तरह आज हम आपके साथ जुड़ चुके हैं। मुझे पता है पिछले कुछ हफ्तों से हम हिंदी क्विज आपके लिए नहीं कर पा रहे थे, पहले मेरी तबीयत थोड़ी सी खराब थी, बट नाउ वी आर बैक और इसीलिए हमने सोचा कि आज हम हिंदी क्विज पहले करते हैं। बट आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू कि जो हमारा आज का इंग्लिश क्विज है उसे बिल्कुल मिस मत कीजिएगा, क्योंकि बहुत ही अमेजिंग बुक है जो आपको मिलेगी एंड ऑफ कोर्स रश्मि विल टेल यू अबाउट इट. So stay with us, and today we have a special game of facts, which is World Water Day special, क्योंकि 22nd of March यानी कि ट्यूसडे को वर्ल्ड वाटर डे होता है और इसीलिए हमने ये स्पेशल गेम ऑफ फैक्ट्स जो है वाटर एडिशन आपके लिए हम लेकर आए हैं। और आज का जो क्विज है मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ, इट इज इन कोलैबोरेशन विद आरोग्यम, विच इज अ फाउंडेशन बेस्ड इन बेंगलुरु और 2005 में ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को फाउंड किया गया था एंड it is to support sustainable water and sanitation solutions in our country. और इनके दो flagship programs हैं. There are two flagship programs of Arakyam, which is one is India Water Portal, which is also IWP, and the other is Participatory Groundwater Management Program. तो ये इनके दो programs हैं and they work around improving sanitation, improving water solutions, finding water solutions for the nation. और आप ये जानेंगे कि क्यों वाटर सॉल्यूशंस इतने इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे कंट्री के लिए, इनफैक्ट वर्ल्ड के लिए, आज के क्विज के बाद। और क्योंकि कुछ ऐसे फैक्ट्स हैं जो हमें वाटर के बारे में हम सोचते भी नहीं है कि पानी इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर सकता है। हाँ बिल्कुल, पानी बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट कर सकता है एंड काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो क्रिएट हो रही हैं वाटर शॉर्टेजेस की वजह से। तो आज के क्विज के बारे में हम वही देखेंगे एंड द विनर ऑफ टुडेज बुक विल गेट चोखेर बाली, जो कि रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर ने लिखी है। 3 हमारे जो विजेता हैं उन्हें हिंदी में ये किताब मिलेगी। क्रिश, आप इंग्लिश क्विज का कोड पूछ रहे हैं, पहले हम हिंदी क्विज खेलेंगे और उसके बाद इंग्लिश क्विज होगा। तो इंग्लिश क्विज का कोड आपको थोड़ी देर के बाद पता चलेगा। अभी आप जल्दी से जल्दी अपना फोन लीजिए, कहूट पर गेम पिन एंटर कीजिए जो कि आपको चैट बॉक्स में दिया जा रहा है एंड इफ यू कैन सी चैट बॉक्स में एक लिंक आपके साथ शेयर किया होगा। हमने इंडिया फैक्ट क्विज ने वी हैव स्टार्टेड अ न्यू न्यूज़लेटर और अगर आप ये न्यूज़लेटर को सब्सक्राइब करना चाहते हैं देन द लिंक इज इन द चैट बॉक्स. It's basically the facts that we here present in Game of Facts. लेकिन क्योंकि यहाँ पर आप बहुत बिजी होते हैं जल्दी जल्दी खेलने के लिए और जल्दी से आंसर करने के लिए एंड समटाइम्स यू मिस द सोर्सेज जो हम आपको सेंड करते हैं एंड यू मिस द एक्सप्लेनेशन। तो इसीलिए हम चाहते हैं कि you should have a place to go back where you can read more about a fact which you liked. So that's the whole point of doing this newsletter, which is called 10 Facts by IFQ. If you want to get your weekly dose of facts, just subscribe to it and I'm sure that you like it. और कोई भी फीडबैक हो तो प्लीज हमें connect@indiafactquiz पर जरूर लिखिएगा। रूल्स जैसा कि आप जानते हैं बहुत ही ज्यादा सिंपल है। आपके पास 2 डिवाइसेस होने चाहिए और एक पर आप गेम पिन एंटर करेंगे जल्दी से और अभी थोड़ी देर में मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करूंगी सो यू विल बी एबल टू सी योर नेम्स ऑन माय स्क्रीन और जल्दी से हम क्विज स्टार्ट करेंगे। हमारे जो पहले के 2-3 क्वेश्चंस है वो पोल क्वेश्चंस हैं, नो पॉइंट्स फॉर दोज, इट्स ओनली टू गेट टू नो यू एंड सो दैट यू ऑल्सो जस्ट थोड़ा सा इजी लेने के लिए है। और उसके बाद हम क्विज स्टार्ट करेंगे, तो जल्दी से जल्दी आंसर कीजिएगा ताकि आपको मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स मिले एंड यू विन द बुक टुडे। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं आज के हमारे क्विज के साथ। मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करने लगी हूँ। वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू, आदित्य, शार्वनी, सौरभ, जितेंद्र, उदित, तुषार, तन्मय, हिना, विनोद, अभिषेक, कंचन, मुकेश. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस टुडे। लॉन्ग वीकेंड है लेकिन फिर भी आपने टाइम निकाल कर हमारे लिए आज आप यहाँ आए हैं। इट्स जस्ट ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच। चलिए हमारे फर्स्ट पोल क्वेश्चन के साथ लेट अस बिगिन। दिस इज वीक 3 फॉर हिंदी गेम ऑफ फैक्ट्स और ये वर्ल्ड वाटर डे स्पेशल है इन कोलैबोरेशन विद आरोग्यम। तो आज का हमारा जो पहला पोल क्वेश्चन है, टेल अस व्हाट यू थिंक। और जो हमारा पहला पोल क्वेश्चन है वो ये आप रोजाना कितना पानी पीते हैं? हाउ मच वाटर डू यू ड्रिंक ऑन अ डेली बेसिस? 8 गिलास यानी कि 8 ग्लासेस बहुत कम पीते हैं आप, मतलब इतना कम है कि आप ग्लासेस में भी नहीं उसको शायद मतलब बता पा रहे, या आप भूल जाते हैं पानी पीना, या आप 8 ग्लासेस से ज्यादा पीते हैं, मोर देन 8 ग्लासेस। ओके, 11 लोगों ने, विच इज वेरी गुड। अगर आप 8 ग्लासेस ऑफ वाटर पीते हैं, दैट इज द मिनिमम दैट यू शुड ड्रिंक। 5 लोगों ने कहा है कि आप बहुत कम पीते हैं। 3 लोगों ने कहा है कि आप भूल जाते हैं। वेल, प्लीज सेट रिमाइंडर्स, किसी भी तरह अपने आपको याद दिलाइए और स्टे हाइड्रेटेड क्योंकि अब तो समर सीजन भी स्टार्ट हो रहा है, तो यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर। और आप में से 12 लोग हैं, वाओ, जो 8 ग्लासेस से भी ज्यादा पानी पीते हैं, विच इज ग्रेट। So I'm hoping कि you'll have clear skins and very less problems in life, जो पानी की वजह से काफी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स कम हो जाती हैं। तो हमारा नेक्स्ट पोल क्वेश्चन इज अ मल्टी सिलेक्ट। तो आप एक से ज्यादा भी ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। क्या आप पानी की बर्बादी को रोकते हैं? डू स्टॉप वाटर वेस्टेज? मैं सावधानी से पानी का उपयोग करता या करती हूँ, मुझे परवाह नहीं है। या आप ऐसे हैं कि आप लोगों को भी रोकते हैं जो पानी बर्बाद कर रहे होते हैं, जो पानी वेस्ट कर रहे होते हैं, उनको भी बोलते हैं कि प्लीज टैप बंद कर दीजिए। या जब भी मैं नल को एक मिनट, जब भी मैं नल को चलता हुआ देखूं तो उसे बंद करता या करती हूँ। तो इसमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन है जो आपके साथ सबसे ज्यादा सूटेबल है? ओके, वाओ, 25 ऑफ यू आप सावधानी से पानी का उपयोग करते हैं, विच इज वेरी गुड। 20 ऑफ यू आप लोगों को भी पानी वेस्ट करने से रोकते हैं। 21 आपने बोला है कि जब भी आप नल को चलता हुआ देखते हैं तो आप उसे बंद करते हैं। whenever you see a tap running you close it, that is great because you stop water wastage। आप में से 4 लोगों ने कहा है कि आपको परवाह नहीं है। चलिए, मैं अभी कुछ नहीं कहती हूँ, बट वंस यू सी, आप 2 क्विजेज हमारे साथ अभी खेलेंगे और आपको पता चलेगा कि कितनी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स है जो वाटर वेस्टेज से भी सॉल्व हो सकती हैं, देन आई थिंक दिस विल चेंज, विच इट शुड। तो चलिए आज के क्विज के साथ स्टार्ट करते हैं। World Water Day Special, which is powered by India Pen and Aragyam। तो let's start with the quiz। और आज का हमारा जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है वो ये है, 7% भारतीय बुनियादी जलापूर्ति यानी कि बेसिक वाटर सप्लाई के बिना रह रहे हैं। क्या ये सही है या गलत? 7% ऑफ द इंडियंस आर लिविंग विदाउट बेसिक वाटर सप्लाई। ओके, तो 18 ऑफ यू आपने बिल्कुल सही उत्तर दिया है, दिस इज ट्रू। जो हमारे देश के 7% लोग हैं वो बेसिक वाटर सप्लाई के बिना रह रहे हैं, विच इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 91 मिलियन पीपल। एक बहुत बड़ा एरिया ऑफ बड़ा नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन है विच इज विदाउट बेसिक वाटर सप्लाई। जो पानी हम एक बेसिक जरूरत समझते हैं, दे आर लिविंग विदाउट इट। तो इस क्वेश्चन के बाद हमारे स्कोरबोर्ड पे वी हैव मयूर, देन वी हैव विनोद, शारवानी, ऋतु एंड आशु। ये स्कोरबोर्ड आप जानते हैं बहुत जल्दी चेंज होता है, सो कीप एट इट। और चलते हैं हमारे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ। फॉर डबल पॉइंट्स, भारत में केवल आधा भूजल यानी कि ग्राउंड वाटर ही पहुंच योग्य है। इन इंडिया ओनली अबाउट हाफ ऑफ द ग्राउंड वाटर इज एक्सेसिबल। क्या ये सही है या गलत? ओके, 21 ऑफ यू आपने बिल्कुल सही उत्तर दिया है। जो हमारे देश में ग्राउंड वाटर है, जितना भी टोटल ग्राउंड वाटर है, उसका जो हाफ है सिर्फ वो ही एक्सेसिबल है। हमारे देश में जैसे कि बहुत सारे ऐसे पार्ट्स हैं जो वाटर स्ट्रेस्ड हैं, एंड ओनली 230 बिलियन क्यूबिक मीटर ऑफ द टोटल 400 बिलियन क्यूबिक मीटर ग्राउंड वाटर इज एक्सेसिबल। तो ऑलमोस्ट हाफ, विच इज अराउंड 58%, सिर्फ वो ही एक्सेसिबल है। और ये क्यों है? क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी कंस्ट्रेंट्स हैं या टोपोग्राफी की वजह से बाकी का ग्राउंड वाटर एक्सेसिबल नहीं है, बट हम उसे एक्सेस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, हम उसे यूज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। तो सिर्फ आधा, लगभग आधा जो ग्राउंड वाटर है दैट इज एक्सेसिबल। और इस क्वेश्चन के बाद scoreboard is exactly the same, no change. Okay, now we have Sharwani, Parisha, Ritu, Jay and Padmaja. I think थोड़ा लेट चेंज हुआ। चलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ। उन लोगों, ग्रामीण और शहरी का प्रतिशत जिनके पास पीने के पानी की विशेष पहुंच नहीं है। Percentage of rural and urban population who do not have exclusive access to drinking water, जिनके पास अपना exclusive access नहीं है पानी के लिए। Is it 18%, 58%, 48% या 28%? ओके, 13 ऑफ यू आपने बिल्कुल करेक्ट आंसर दिया है। द करेक्ट आंसर इज 48%, और which is around, फिर से roughly half of the households, nearly half of the households in rural and urban India, जिनके पास exclusive drinking water access नहीं है। और 1/4 ऐसे households हैं, 23.6%, जो एक पब्लिक अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड सोर्स से पानी अपना एक्सेस करते हैं। मतलब उनके पास अपना पानी का कोई सोर्स नहीं है, उन्हें एक पब्लिक सर्विस, पब्लिक एक्सेस के पास जाना पड़ता है पानी को एक्सेस करने के लिए। एंड दिस इज फ्रॉम द एनएसएस डेटा, 2018 डेटा। तो इस क्वेश्चन के बाद स्कॉरबोर्ड पे परीक्षा, आई थिंक एक एक करके सब लीड ले रहे हैं। वी हैव परीक्षा, देन वी हैव तन्मय, स्नेहा, प्रेम एंड अभिषेक। चलते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। फॉर डबल पॉइंट्स, विश्व स्तर पर पर्याप्त उपचार यानी कि एडिक्वेट ट्रीटमेंट के बिना पर्यावरण में कितना प्रतिशत अपशिष्ट जल यानी कि वेस्ट वाटर छोड़ा जाता है? 10%, 50%, 80%, 30%. Globally, the percentage of wastewater released to the environment without adequate treatment. एक adequate treatment के बिना कितना ऐसा polluted water है या waste water है जो environment में release किया जाता है? 10%, 80%, 50%, 30%. 27 of you went with the highest number and it's actually surprising. मतलब हम सोचेंगे कि एक छोटा परसेंटेज होना चाहिए, but it's actually the opposite. It's 80%, almost. It's like it is likely over 80% of the wastewater जो है वो adequate treatment के बिना ही environment में release हो जाता है। और इससे बहुत सारी ऐसी problems हो सकती हैं, क्योंकि contaminated water is something which causes a lot of health risks. और यही अगर वेस्ट वाटर को हम अच्छे से ट्रीट करें तो वो रीयूज हो जाता है, उसके और बहुत सारे फायदे हैं। वो इरिगेशन में यूज हो सकता है, बट 80% इज अ लॉट। सो विद दिस नाउ वी हैव प्रेम हु इज एट द टॉप ऑफ द स्कोरबोर्ड। उनके बाद है स्नेहा, शार्वनी इज बैक ऑन द स्कोरबोर्ड, स्वाति एंड पद्मजा। चलते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। बिहार की तुलना में महाराष्ट्र में अधिक घर पीने के पानी को प्राप्त करने के लिए यात्रा करते हैं। मोर नंबर ऑफ हाउसहोल्ड्स इन महाराष्ट्र ट्रैवल टू एक्सेस ड्रिंकिंग वाटर इन कंपैरिजन टू बिहार। क्या ये सही है या गलत? 37 ऑफ यू, एकदम करेक्ट आंसर। सिर्फ 6 लोगों ने इसका उत्तर जो दिया है वो गलत है। ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है। महाराष्ट्र में ज्यादा हाउस होल्ड्स हैं जो पानी को प्राप्त करने के लिए, मतलब ड्रिंकिंग वाटर को एक्सेस करने के लिए ट्रैवल करते हैं। इट्स अबाउट 21% ऑफ हाउस होल्ड्स। और वहीं बिहार इज द ओनली स्टेट अमंग द 5 मोस्ट पॉपुलर स्टेट्स जहाँ पे फ्यूअर देन 10% ऑफ हाउस होल्ड्स जो है वो ट्रैवल करते हैं पानी एक्सेस करने के लिए। तो 21% एंड 10%, और बिहार एक्चुअली इज वन ऑफ द लोएस्ट। तो इस क्वेश्चन के बाद here's the scoreboard in front of you, no change, just scores। तो चलते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। पीने के पानी के लिए हैंडपंप का उपयोग करने वाले भारतीय परिवारों का प्रतिशत। Percentage of Indian households that use a hand pump for drinking water: 61%, 31%, 41%, 21%। हमारे देश में ऐसे कितने हाउस होल्ड्स हैं जो कितने परिवार हैं जो हैंडपंप का इस्तेमाल करते हैं पीने के पानी के लिए? ओके, 8 ऑफ यू आपने सही उत्तर दिया है, एंड आई थिंक मेजॉरिटी वेंट विद 61%। इट्स 31%, और which is 30.5% to be precise, but हम राउंड ऑफ करें तो 31% जो हमारी इंडियन पॉपुलेशन है that still uses hand pump for accessing water। और अब स्कॉरबोर्ड आई थिंक कुछ तो चेंज होना चाहिए, जो हो गया है। नाउ वी आर स्वाति, पद्मजा, प्रेम, स्नेहा एंड शार्वनी। आई थिंक वही कुछ नाम है जो बार बार स्कॉरबोर्ड पे या तो इंटरचेंज हो रहे हैं या आ रहे हैं, बट लेट्स सी बिकॉज देयर आर मेनी डबल पॉइंट्स क्वेश्चन, सो आई एम होपिंग कि कुछ और लोग भी एंटर कर पाएंगे। चलते हैं, मूविंग ऑन टू आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। सी डबल पॉइंट्स। विश्व का सबसे बड़ा भूजल यानी कि ग्राउंड वाटर निकालने वाला देश। वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट ग्राउंड वाटर एक्सट्रैक्टर। एंड आपके ऑप्शन है यूएस, पाकिस्तान, भारत और चीन। चीन यानी चाइना। Which country do you think is the highest, is the largest groundwater extractor? Okay, 25 of you correct. It's India. हमारा जो देश है, it accounts for about 12% of the global groundwater extraction। 12% जो है वो भारत उतना भारत ग्राउंड वाटर एक्सट्रैक्ट करता है। और ग्राउंड वाटर इज द सोर्स ऑफ 40% ऑफ आवर वाटर नीड्स। जो हमारे देश की 40% वाटर नीड्स है उसका सोर्स ग्राउंड वाटर ही है। सो इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स। और ग्राउंड वाटर कंटेमिनेशन के बारे में हम सब ने सुना है कि जितना ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांस कर रही है, जितना ज्यादा अर्बनाइजेशन है और हमारे जो और ह्यूमन प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, उसकी वजह से ग्राउंड वाटर पर बहुत ज्यादा असर आ रहा है। एंड it has led to contamination of groundwater, which because it is used for irrigation and so many other purposes, तो वो बहुत problematic हो जाता है, क्योंकि at the end सब कुछ health से connected है, and all of these problems then hamper our health। और इस क्वेश्चन के बाद नाउ वी हैव पद्मजा, शार्वानी, स्नेहा, प्रेम और आशु, जो कि बहुत देर के बाद दोबारा से स्कॉरबोर्ड पे आ चुके हैं। चलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ। जल से संबंधित आपदाओं यानी डिजास्टर्स का प्रतिशत। 64%, 34%, 74% और 54%। Percentage of disasters that are water related। ये 2001 to 2018 के बीच में कितने डिजास्टर्स थे जो वाटर रिलेटेड थे, उसके बारे में है। ओके, 22 ऑफ यू एकदम सही उत्तर दिया है आपने। इट्स 74%, which is the maximum out of the all options। 70%, 74% of all the natural disasters जो भी हुए थे between 2001 and 2018, they were water related. जो मतलब maximum है, एक बहुत ही बड़ा chunk of water disasters is water related. Moving on to the scoreboard. Sharwani's rainbow is really making her happy, I'm sure. उनके बाद है स्नेहा, पद्मजा, प्रेम और आशु. I think the scoreboard is same, just थोड़ा slight change हुआ है. विश्व की 1/4 यानी कि 1/4 आबादी के पास सुरक्षित रूप से प्रबंधित पेयजल यानी कि सेफली मैनेज ड्रिंकिंग वाटर सेवाएं नहीं हैं. क्या ये सही है या गलत? Almost 1/4 of the world's population lacks safely managed drinking water services. "24 of you एकदम correct answer है. ये बिल्कुल सही है. It is about 2 billion people, which is at around 26%, almost 1/4 of the world's population, जिनके पास safely managed water services नहीं है. And drinking water again is very important for our health. उसके अपने side effects, उसके अपने issues हैं जो अगर contaminated water हम पिए तो हो सकते हैं, जिसके बारे में next question भी है. तो आज के last question की तरफ चलते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले एक बार scoreboard अगर कुछ slide change है तो we have Niharika just jumped onto the scoreboard. So we have Padmaja, Sneha, Prem, Sharwani and Niharika. Let's look at our last question for today, but please keep at it because we have the English quiz and an excellent book to give away today. And of course, the 10 amazing questions for you. तो चलते हैं हमारे last question की तरफ आज के हिंदी quiz के लिए. For double points, विश्व स्तर पर 70 मिलियन यानी कि 70 मिलियन लोग मल यानी फीसिस से दूषित पेयजल स्रोत यानी कि ड्रिंकिंग वाटर सोर्स का उपयोग करते हैं. Globally, 70 million people use a drinking water source which is contaminated with feces. Is this true or false? क्या ये सही है या गलत? 70 million people वो contaminated sources of water. Okay. 30 of you आपने सही चुना और जो 6 लोग हैं जिन्होंने गलत पर क्लिक किया वो करेक्ट हैं because it's not 70 million. बहुत ही बड़ा नंबर है, मतलब 70 million is very small to the actual number in comparison to the actual number. It's not 70, it's 2 billion. 2 billion people इस अर्थ पर जो रह रहे हैं, they drink water from sources which is contaminated with feces. I think that is it contaminated water can transmit so many diseases like diarrhea, cholera, and it can have greater health risks. क्योंकि hygiene purposes से भी अगर हम देखें तो बहुत problematic है ये. और 6 लोग जिन्होंने सही उत्तर दिया है, I think आपको double points मिले हैं. Hopefully आप आज के podium पर होंगे. So let's look at our podium for today. थर्ड पोजीशन पर आज के क्विज पर है प्रेम और सेकंड पोजीशन पर है स्नेहा. एंड द विनर ऑफ टुडेज क्विज इज पद्मजा. कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस टू ऑल ऑफ यू. प्लीज आप अपनी बुक क्लेम कर सकते हैं. मुकेश एंड शारवानी, यू आर द रनर अप्स. शारवानी बहुत बार ऊपर नीचे स्कोरबोर्ड पे हुई, बट nonetheless you stayed on the scoreboard. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll stop sharing my screen और रश्मि अभी जल्दी से अपना कैमरा ऑन करेंगी and she'll be here for the English quiz with you. So thank you so much for joining in और all the best for the next quiz.
Rules you all have in high school. It's a different one for each, and it's 1875992. I hope all of you can hear me now. If you can just
Okay, I think थोड़ा connectivity issue है. She'll be back soon, but till the time she's here, आप अपना quiz के लिए जो अभी आपने खेला है, the winners please claim your prize within 24 hours, and just fill that Google form link. और मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहती हूँ 22nd March को, which is the World Water Day, we have our WhatsApp quiz. और अगर आप वो खेलना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए भी एक बहुत amazing book है जो आपको as a prize मिलेगी. So if you want to win that book, please join our WhatsApp community. उसके the quiz link will be disclosed on the day itself. And now we have Rashmi back. तो हम English quiz के साथ start करते हैं.
with the internet. I hope I'm visible, and if you can just give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, I've just been having a little bit of a glitch with the internet, but I hope this is better and you hear me. Before anything goes wrong, I'm not going to take any chance. I'm going to very quickly talk about the book that you're going to get. Congratulations to all the winners of the Hindi quiz. This is a very special quiz. It is the World Water Day special quiz that we are having, and this quiz has been possible with our collaborators at the RGM Foundation. And as we go through the questions, you'll get an understanding of the work that they do. This was founded by Rohini Nellikani, and basically they're really focusing on how to make the invisible visible. And a lot of work that
We're really sorry. I think there's some connectivity issue at Rashmi's end. She'll be joining in again. Or I hope, please stay along with us because I really don't want you to miss this book. It's a good one. Just stay a little patient. Thoda sa. Yeah, she's here with us back. Okay.
So
Rashmi?
sorry, I don't know what's going on, but before, Meena, if you can just be online as well. I hope it's working well. I'm going to very quickly share my screen so you can see whether your names are there. And I hope this doesn't get jinxed. Okay, so it is working. And I hope nothing goes wrong now, from now till then. Let's all keep our fingers crossed, and thank you all so much for joining us. This normally doesn't happen, but today has been one of those rare days. Very quickly, RGM Foundation is our collaborator on this special quiz, and they are a philanthropic firm that focuses on investing in strengthening India's water management. largely on groundwater. They've been doing some very, very path-breaking stuff. And yeah, so, you know, these questions really are courtesy them, and we're bringing this quiz to you thanks to them. And essentially, really what they're trying to do is just change behaviors, you know, think about what are those problems in managing water systems. Wants to know more of what they do, you should check them out. And the book we have today, I'm sorry, it says my internet is unstable. I hope it's okay now. The book we have for you today is called Watershed by Mridula Ramesh. A very fascinating book again. You may think this is something that you have to be an expert to know about. No, it's written very simply, and she starts off this book with her own personal issue of why is there water crisis where she lives. And then she sort of gets off on her journey and goes across the country. It's a fascinating account, and also has very specific solutions that she provides. All right, welcome everyone. And well, Padmaja, Sneha, and Prem got lucky today. Let's see whether it's going to be Mukesh or Adit or Sneha or Pikachu or Kanna or anyone else. All right, so welcome everyone. And I'm going to get started on the poll questions, okay? Fingers crossed. This is the World Water Day special. And 3 questions, but no marks or right or wrong answers here. So just fire away and answer whatever comes to mind. Okay, I hope this is working. If it's not, we probably will have to go in there and create a new pin. So we'll give it a minute. I'm so sorry, guys. Just give me half a second and let me see if I can resolve this issue. Yeah.
I'll run my screen. I'll run through my screen, and Rashmi can present the quiz to you. Just give me a minute. I'll just share the new game pin with you. Okay, so we have the new game pin. I'll just share my screen. We request you to quickly log into Kahoot and use this game pin. And Rashmi, I'll mute myself so you can just start talking.
Thank you, Meenal. Thanks a lot. This has been quite a erratic internet connection scene. Okay, so the game pin is 4496900. You're all pros at this. So I guess I hope it's not too much of a disturbance. Sorry, everyone. I know you just want to sort of get into the flow, finish off one quiz, get into the next, take your book and walk away. I know that feeling, and it's a frustrating, but I'm sure it's going to be worth your while, because these questions that we picked are really, really I think very interesting ones, which really make you think a lot. A couple of them I think are fairly simplistic. You don't really have to test too much of bias, just fire away and just use your logic for those questions. All right. So good to see the Chabra family and to see Krish, Ayush, Udit, Sneha, Sriharshita, Hina, Dipankar. Hi, so good to see you. Druhi, Sahil, welcome everyone. I think we already got into the poll questions. Welcome back. Very kind of you to just be so, Vanshika, Nila, Amrita, thank you for just being patient with us and coming back on. All right. So you can still join in as the poll questions come on. I was talking about Watershed, which is Mridula Ramesh's book. She's based in Madurai, and it's a very, very beautiful book on the subject. I'm not saying that because, I have some vested interest. It just is a fantastic book. All right. So the poll questions, and we were on the first one, but we'll do it again. It's a very straightforward question. I know what I'm struggling with right now, but what can you live without for 36 hours at a stretch? Is it water, electricity, food, or Wi-Fi connection? And this is multi-select, so okay. So clearly, our priority is Wi-Fi connection. I mean, I can so identify with that. And I think Mayur says, well, yeah, okay, yeah, mobile data, okay. But yeah, I would hazard 36 hours at a stretch without water. Now, that's a bit challenging, I would think. But clearly, I think we have our priorities right. All right. Like I said, no wrong answers. So we'll go to the next question now. And this one is again a multi-select. Your favorite season or time of the year? I know we've kind of asked this question before, but we're really curious to know if anything has changed. Okay, the Pankar is saying, I think they misplaced the question and said, what can you live with? Okay, so we're asking, do you like winter, summer, monsoon, or holidays? And holidays can be just, at any time of the year, whenever that is, it doesn't matter. So clearly it's holidays, and then we like winter, and then we like the monsoon, and summer is okay-ish. Yeah, we're kind of, summer is, we're at the onset of summer, and can tell that it is quite cruel. Across the country, there are heat waves. In fact, Bombay's had a very recent heat wave. Kishore, I think you're looking for the pin, and we should be able to help you with that soon. Just look in the chat box and you will see that the pin is there. All right. Paul has something to say. Yeah. Winter is a choice of people who live in the Himalayas, right? You're right. Okay. Do you have any tips on saving water at home, office, work, or just anywhere? Anything that you want to share that you promote or propagate, or you've come across as an idea? Any gadget that's there that can save water? Or, some people say if you just change the pressure of the tap in the kitchen, you can actually save quite a few liters of water. Some say bucket bath is much better than shower because this way you can regulate how much water you're using. So if there are any tips that you have, we could really do with some. We'd love to share it with everyone else as well. So we're asking you to share your tips and your ideas and suggestions with us. We ask too much of you. I agree. But what to do? We're like this. Okay, reuse, yes. Use purposefully, yes. Less shower power, yes. Fully plant-based, I think that is a good idea. Somehow bring down, non-vegetarian. Fix all leaks, yes. Don't wait till water drips and we waste it. Close taps when not used. Close taps properly. Water tap filter, vigilance. Bathe less. Don't bathe. No. Use only if you want to. Rainwater harvesting. Thank you very much. I know Argyam will be very, very happy to hear that. Reduce usage. Tighten the taps. Try to save water. Switch to shower, then bucket bath. Okay, not using shower. Reuse of RO water, and in general, I think such practical, simple solutions actually to an issue which very, very soon is going to cause for probably, I mean, people say that wars will be fought over water. States in our country fight because of water. You have riots because of water. You have neighbors up in arms with each other because of water. So it is a very serious situation that can actually be, we can have simple solutions to that as well. All right. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to click a picture of it. I love it. And we're going to get into the quiz now. So at this point, if any of you are waiting to jump in, please do that. 10 very simple questions. Don't need any book, general knowledge, or preparing or whatever. Just use your logic, just test your bias, and that is it. So we'll get into the actual quiz, and I wish all of you all the very best. So here we have it. This is a very, very special edition, and it's thanks to Argyam. And we have the first true or false. India depends largely on the monsoon for its water. Is this statement true or false? All right, it's well established that the subcontinent is very dependent on the monsoon for its water. And we'll very quickly go to the scoreboard now. And we'll take a look at who's there. Shri Harshita, Sharvani, Rohit, Abhishek, and Tushar. Sharvani, I hope this works for you, whatever new emojis you put in there, or emoticons, or whatever you call it. And we'll get into the next question. There's a method to this madness, so please hold with me. You get double points for this one. In a single year, India receives most of its rains in a time span of 2 months, 1 month, 8 weeks, or 5 days. Yes, Sharvani, you're right. We just wanted you to say which one you would prefer. Do you like the weeks or do you like the days? Because here's what I'm going to tell you, and it's a bit shocking. Now, we know, and I think it's established in the first question that most of you got right, that this country, India, is largely dependent on monsoon for its rain. What if I tell you, and when I read this fact, I was shocked. It is about 100 hours in which India receives maximum of its rain. So sometimes we have perception of time and we think, oh, monsoon is 3 months, or, you know, the southwest monsoon, and then you have the northeast monsoon, and then there's all this monsoon activity around the country. But the number of days, literally, or if you want to put it in hours, it's approximately 4.4 days, or, you know, you can stretch it maximum to 5 days, in which India gets the maximum of its rain. So really, it's these 5 days that are the most crucial for most of the rain that India gets. Okay, so this for me was a big shocker. There are more like these to come. So the 5 of you that actually went for 5 days, which seems ludicrous on the face of it, were correct. All right, so we'll take a look at the scoreboard. Thank you, Meenal. It's now Rohit, Abhishek, Prem, Udit, and Nehal. All right, the next question. Lots of these kind of twisters coming. So water is just that kind of topic. More than half of India's farms are irrigated. Is this statement true or false? Right, okay, so 17 of you said true and you're wrong. 28 of you said false and you're right. And it kind of now comes to this point where we need to understand that we're an agrarian country and more than half of our farms are actually dependent on rain. These farms are rain-fed, as we call them. So while we have spent thousands and hundreds and thousands of crores of rupees in irrigation, at the end of the day, the farmer is still dependent on the rains. All right, so quickly scoreboard and then into the next question. So it's Abhishek, Udit, Rohit, Nehal, and Prem, and we'll get into the next one. Total water requirement of the country for different uses for the year 2050 is estimated to be 550 BCM or billion cubic meters, 5,050 BCM, 1,180 BCM, or 180 billion cubic meters. You just focus on the range because the numbers look very big. So just focus on the 550, the 1,800, okay, sorry, 1,080. So 20 of you that went for 1,180 billion cubic meters, you are correct. This is going to be the total water requirement of the country that the government of India has estimated through the various studies. And 2050, let me tell you, is not really that far away. All of this will come into a sequence when you understand the amount of rain that India gets, also the duration of the rain that we have, and the fact that you have all of these, black swans, as you call them, or the unknown unknowns like climate change, etc. We don't know what it's going to bring with each passing year. So very quickly at the scoreboard. And it's now Udit, Abhishek, Nehal, Prem, and Rohit, and we'll get into the next question. Double points for this one. Every rural household will have access to potable tap water supply of good quality and regular supply by 2050, or is it 2030, or 2024, or 2044? So it's actually literally 2 years down the line. That's the deadline that the government of India has set for themselves, in which every single rural household will have access to tap water. It is going to be not only of proper quality, but it's also going to have not just like dribbles that comes for like 2 hours a day, but it will have, a stable duration. So it's a very big challenge. There is a very wide gap, and the time is actually short. So it's going to be interesting to see whether those deadlines can be met. So it's 2024. All right. And quite a few of you actually got that right. So that's amazing. All right. The scoreboard, and we'll see what's happened here. Nehal, Prem, Vanshika, Parisha, and Bhaskar. Okay. It's always nice to see like a new mix of names. And the next question coming up. A true or false? Water projects are planned, funded, executed, and maintained by state governments with technical support from the center. Is this statement true or false? So essentially, my understanding from this statement is water is a state subject, and the center is really not involved except for technical support and maybe for some big interstate kind of investments. And majority of you actually are very well aware of this. So it just complicates things. And also, I think as citizens, for us to know whether water is a state subject or a central subject, when it comes to interstate, and I was fascinated by this fact as well, when it comes to interstate waterways, then the central government is involved, but otherwise it is largely the state subject, especially when it is within the boundaries. All right, so always remember, be very, very aware of who is governing your particular state. They are accountable if there's any water shortage or anything of that sort. Okay, the scoreboard now, and we'll see what it tells us. It's saying that there is some change, and Prem is now in the lead, followed by Nehal, Bhaskar, Udit, and Gaurav. Just keep at it. There are going to be some fairly straightforward, simple questions. So just on at it. All right, the next one coming up. Double points for this question. Percentage of Punjab's groundwater sources which are categorized as overexploited. Is it 60%, 40%, 20%, or 80%? We have to recognize this state is the biggest contributor when it comes to paddy, when it comes to wheat. So it is a very important state just from an agricultural output perspective. And majority of you said 80%, and you are right. It is sort of, I thought extremely shocking. All right, the scoreboard, Meenal, please. She's doing such a fantastic job at this. Okay, so it's Prem, Nehal, Udit, Nilab. Welcome into the scoreboard, and Bhaskar. The next one. Out of 23 districts in Punjab, the number of districts with presence of arsenic in groundwater, is it out of 23, there are 23 districts in Punjab. Out of that, is it 5 which have arsenic, 17, 12, or 8? So it is 17 out of 23 districts, which clearly makes this much more than just this state's problem that has contaminated or the presence of arsenic in the groundwater, which pretty much means they've come to a point where it's going to have an impact on the agricultural output. It is also going to have an impact on the people who live in that state. So their problems really have become, and in this whole sort of drive for productivity, for trying to ensure that you get a good yield with all the fertilizers and all chemicals that you're putting into the soil. Today, we've reached a situation where literally 17 out of 23 districts, which is pretty much the entire state, has arsenic in the groundwater. We'll take a look at the scoreboard and jump into the next question. it's Nehal now, followed by Udit, Nilab, Katz, and Bhaskar. Okay, the next question. A true or false? Annualized toll of cyclone damage between 2016 and 20 is comparable to what India spends on school education in a year. Is this statement true or false? So we're comparing all the money that has been spent on cyclones between 2016 and 2020 and India's annual education budget. This statement is true, which means that every time there is a cyclone and every time the government has to do damage control, it's coming out of somewhere. This is a budget and there is an allocation. And then when there is a need, there is a reallocation. So literally, if we did not have as much cyclone damage, then probably that amount of money, which is equivalent to 1 year of India's education budget, could have gone into more important things. But here we have it. All right, the next one, very quickly. It's now Nihal, Udit, Bhaskar, Abhishek, and Prem. The next question coming up, we're asking you to rank these cities based on the number of rainy days. And it is Mumbai, London, Amsterdam, or New York. Put them in the right order and let's see what we have. Okay, yes. So don't worry. I think a bit of a spoiler here because the answer got posted. It doesn't matter. Those of you who've got it right, well, I think in all fairness, probably we should consider, we'll see where this goes. But just so you know, in pecking order, Amsterdam actually has more rainy days, the most actually among all the cities in the world, followed by, and then you have the list, and then there's London, New York, and Bombay. So sometimes we have this perception that, you say London's very rainy or it's always raining in Mumbai. Mumbai has 3 months of rain. But actually, if you look at it, Amsterdam is somewhere 182. London is again somewhere in the 170s range. And then you have New York, and Mumbai gets about to some 76 or whatever. So what we're going to do now is we'll take a look at the scoreboard and we'll see where things stand. We'll probably have to consider and calibrate. Let's see if we need to do that, but we'll just take a look at the scoreboard very quickly. We'll recalibrate, and then we'll probably on our social media figure out how we're going to do the computation. We might want to take the last question out. But for the time being, and I'm saying for the time being, this is what the scoreboard looks like. Really sorry about the mix up. It's really clearly, it's been a bit of a patchy day at IFQ, but just give us some time. We're not going to ask you to wait any longer. What we will do is on our social media channels, we will just inform you who the winners are. At this point in time, these are really the 3 names that we have on the podium. In the first position, it's Abhishek, Prem, and then Nilab Sinha in the 3rd position. But we will recalibrate, take out possibly the last question and see how we stack up, and we will inform the winners as well. So it's been a bit of a patchy day here. But yeah, let's, I know I hear you, Ishashri, but we just want to make sure that, we make you all sign the honor code. So we need to be honorable to that too. But just hang in with us. We'll send you all the details and the specific. And of course, 5 p.m. next week, again, we're going to be here and we'll have another set of questions. Look out for the WhatsApp quiz because that's going to be out on World Water Day. And we will have another set of 10 amazing questions focusing on everything to do with water management and making invisible visible. So thank you all and have a great rest of the week.